Some basics for children's health. Um, this is critical. This is where it comes down to if we're not effectively tackling our children's health issues, then I mean, all it don't nothing else really matters but health. Everything grows out of health, wealth, wisdom, awareness. All those things grow out of your ability to experience them. Um, so let's take a look at two things really quickly. We're gonna briefly go over a bunch of stuff, but um, one out of two black children. Actually, this is pretty widespread statistic, but um, I'm speaking specifically to you guys right now. But one out of two African American children has a weight issue, or seriously think they do. Now, that's one out of two. Now, watch this. Watch this. Let's couple that with the fact that one out of two, one out of two children under the age of 15 years old has a chronic disease. A chronic disease that they need to make regular visits to the hospital for and get regular prescription drugs, etc., etc. 2 plus 2 equals 4 every day of the week. This is too easy. So, now, with that being said, only 20%, which is 1 out of 5 children, are actually chronically obese. But that's still a tremendous number. 1 out of 5. That's crazy. Um, Life expectancy, and I've been talking about this for probably the last 9 years. It is now a reality. So if you've been following me, I know you heard me say this might happen. We need to avoid this. Guys, get on top of this, change your lifestyle, because if this happens, we're in a problem. Well, it has happened. Okay? It is officially documented that our children have a shorter lifespan than we do. These are now living statistics. So we're now living in a time period where we're projected to watch our children die. We are now living in a time period where we are expected to watch our children die because they have a shorter life expectancy than we do. Now, I've been telling you for almost a decade that the moment a generation has a shorter lifespan than their parents, that entire species is marked for extinction. So let's take a quick look around and see what are the things affecting this. Couple of things I have quite a few people ask me. Recommended daily vitamin intake. From my research, that first things first, the RDA or RDIs are the same as they have been from the 30s and the 40s when they started. We don't live in that environment anymore. So those numbers, to say that those numbers are chronically low, would still not be an adequate statement. We don't even live in the environment that those RDIs were created in. Those RDIs weren't around for 16-hour a day exposure to blue light. For children that live indoors and get 2 hours a week of outside time playing, and just all of this kind of stuff. Um, no water because everybody's drinking synthetic drinks now. Even the water synthetic. Water has to come out of an alkalizer machine, or you got to add a package of powder to the shit. Um, the children don't exercise. Um, they're not getting the right type of balanced light in their life. Um, most of the children come from parents that were poorly educated and acted poorly on them, right? Moms, here in the States, especially amongst blacks, we breastfeed less than 6 months on average. Less than 6 months on average, which is the lowest on earth. The lowest on earth. And chronically inhibits brain, nervous system, and heart development. Um, and to top it off, we do C-sections like nobody, like they're going out of style. We're doing C-sections like they're going out of style. More than 40% of a child's immune system is going to come from the mom's birth canal. This is the whole understand. This is what you guys got to understand about these synthetic practices. C-section is not the way you're supposed to have a baby. The baby's missing. They're stripped of their external immune system. The internal immune system, a lot of it comes from the breast milk. So no breast milk. The internal immune system is going to be challenged at best, which is going to make them highly reactionary. The external, the skin, is going to be completely exposed because they didn't come through the C-section. So we're crippling these children, um, and it's really a family issue. That's why the course, Mama's R&B, the course, it's really a family course. It's really a family course. So people who have graduated God Complex, sure, you could jump in there. It'd be awesome for you. We got to understand this stuff. Male fertility is down. Male fertility is down almost 80%. So it's not just the women that are having these issues with infertility. The food, estrogens, all of these chemicals in the meat. People worried about soy. Soy is nowhere near as a bad of a problem for estrogen levels in men as meat is. Chicken, beef, turkey, all of the fish, all of these animals are being pumped with estrogen to make them grow faster and get fatter and more plump so you can get more weight out of the meat at the supermarket, spend a little bit more money. The meat factories and companies make a little bit more money. And hell, if it takes 10 years, 20 years off your life, that's your business. That's how they feel about that. So the food, um, BPA, these chemicals that we dealing with. BPA has the same type of xenoestrogenic effect. Blue light. Blue light overstimulates the pituitary gland so that the pituitary gland can no longer produce growth hormone. It's no longer going to produce the sexual hormones. All of these things are being challenged by today's environment. So this is again why I'm saying that the recommended daily vitamin intake is, it's very simple for parents that are using the Mama Atomics already. I just drop all my babies and we rolling. It's very easy. They have the face looking at me for a second like, what's up? But even the taste of Mama Atomics is good for their for their taste receptors. Because you have a war going on in your children for taste bud receptors. And the more sugary taste bud receptors they have, the more they're going to have a natural aversion to the health-based foods that you try to get them to consume. Um, so you want to fight fire with fire. So Mama Atomics not only supplies a load of nutrition for them, but it also provides a positive stimulation for the replacing of healthy taste bud receptors and all of the taste buds. So that's it kills two birds with what multiple birds with one stone. Um, Almost 300 chemicals. Now watch this. Almost 300 discoverable. I got to say discoverable so you get it. Discoverable man-made chemicals on average are in the umbilical cord today. That means they in the babies. And this is discoverable. Man-made chemicals on average in the umbilical cord. Now, 220 of those are already documented brain, heart, and nervous system inhibitors. These are neurotoxins. 220 of them. So this is how we're already setting the stage. We're already setting the stage for sick babies to turn into sick toddlers, to turn into sick children, to turn into sick teens, to turn into sick adults that do what? Die prematurely. And you need to stop having people call your children kids. I'll be ready to slap fire out of motherfuckers for saying, oh, you got a bunch of kids. You know, your kids are beautiful. Your kids are smart. Your kids. I'll be like, children. I'll be trying to correct them with a smile on my face. Like, no, you're not going to break the emotional connection that I have with my offspring by calling them animals. There's a difference between kids and children. The term kids is thrown around to desensitize you from your children. So be focused, be vigilant on this. Children ages 11 to 13 have the same or typical blood profiles of 40-year-old people, 40-year-old adults. 40-year-old adults. That means they have the same markers, the same disease markers for diabetes, high blood pressure, you name it. All of the inflammatory markers. Some of them are already on diabetes medication, pre-diabetes medication. 13 years old, 14 years old, breast cancer. We have to be more aggressive on detoxing and supplementation. There's no way around it. We live in a toxic environment, and it's the environment that controls genetic expression. The environment controls how well your mitochondria function. This is the key to Mama Atomics' overall performance. It makes the body more sensitive to photoelectric activity, meaning you have a photons only interact on Earth. On Earth. Everywhere you go, it's the same with electrons. Photons only interact with electrons. The most electric place that we have in the body, heart, of course, brain, of course, but the reason the heart and the brain is because of their high concentration of mitochondria. You see, in the mitochondria, you have the electron transport chain, and you also have the citric acid cycle to feed the electron transport chain, to produce ATP for the cell's functions. But there's a higher form of energy, which creates biophotons, which is produced from free radicals. And we're having an explosion in biophotonic studies because we're having an explosion in the production of free radicals in our body. But we're not balancing these things out. We're not balancing these things out. And it's so simple. I don't know how to make it more simple. I done gave y'all the information and the momatomics. Squirt it in your baby's mouth. A couple drops. It's easy. Done. If mommy's still breastfeeding, baby, put it in mommy's mouth. Done. If baby's on a bottle, okay, well, drop a few drops in the bottle. Done. Let's go. Let's make sure we're getting the basic aminos like tyrosine. Let's make sure we're getting these things. That is the most crucial aromatic amino acid to your body's health, bar none. That is the one thing causing these children to not be able to think in the day. High blood glucose levels inhibits the body's ability to process tyrosine, which is what your neuromelanin is made of. How can the children perform? That's one of the side effects to Agent Orange or these herbicides produced by Monsanto, is that it causes insulin resistance. You see? And the more follicles you have, see, when I say more follicles means more hormones, and that goes along with more pigment, people get offended. But it's a fact. And this is why some illnesses affect us much more than they affect other people. Now, not only do 50% of our children have chronic illnesses, but more than 50% of them cannot sleep. Do you know what that means for a child not to be able to sleep? No. Let's forget child. Let's take it to an adult first. If an adult can't sleep, that means they have inflammation in their brain. That means the pineal gland is not able to properly produce melatonin. If the pineal gland can't properly produce melatonin, the rest of the body cannot synchronize with each other. If the body cannot synchronize with each other because of poor melatonin levels, guess what else is getting a poor melatonin supply? The mitochondria, the respiratory proteins that make up the electron transport chain. And as they get swollen, as they get deformed, their ability to conduct electrons begins to dissipate, and you get electron leakage from your mitochondria. And just so you know how real it is, if somebody gives you cyanide and you drop dead, it's because they ruined one, not all, one of your respiratory proteins' ability to conduct electrons, which is the fourth, I believe. I believe they hit that cytochrome 4. I think that's where cyanide becomes active. And cytochrome 4 drops out. It no longer can function. And guess what? The moment that happens, you dead. Period. Ain't no playing around. Ain't no herb, nothing, diet, fast, chemo, nothing. Nothing can fix that. The respiratory proteins go, you're dead. Bam. And this is what's happening in the children. Now take it a step forward, because children's bodies haven't even completely developed. And all of their body development happens in their sleep. So you're looking at stunted growth, but you're not just looking at stunted growth from an external point of view. You're looking at stunted growth of organs, reproductive organs, brain organ maturity. So this is why you're going to have more sexual crimes and more sexual deviance, because the children are not fully able to sexually mature. Simple solution. Mama Thomas. Take the sodas out the diet. No sodas. No fake juices. No fake box Capri. Nothing. Nothing. No days where they got a whole damn day where they didn't come outside the house. That cannot happen. You have to let them babies go outside. If they don't want to go outside, force their ass outside. No days without enzymes. What do you mean by no days without enzymes, Minister EnQi? One of the major problems that we have as humans, this is not black, this is not white, this is not red, this is not green, this is a human issue. We're the only species on Earth that eats a diet devoid of enzymes. So what that does is it makes metabolic enzymes that have jobs to do in the cells throughout your body. They have to leave those cells and be converted to digestive enzymes, which is a one-way ticket because they don't go back. So slowly but surely you start to kill off the ability of your cells to function because the enzymes are leaving every time you have a meal. Every time you have a meal. So it's good to add, you want to give them some waffles, something crazy or whatever. Make sure they have a little few slices of apples behind that. Some applesauce, some pineapple slices. Just something small like that can change the entire process of digestion. No days without water. My children know they can't even wake up and ask for anything to eat or drink until they drink at least 20 ounces of water. No MSG. No artificial colors. No artificial sweeteners. No artificial additional salts. No salts added whatsoever to their food. Period. No salts, no sweeteners. You got to go back to the natural way. And this is one of the powerful things about Mama Atomics, is that it gives you the nutrients the way you will find them in a plant, because of the wild plants that we use in the compound. Epigenetics tells us 20% of a mother's toxins wind up in that baby. So now you smoking weed, you sniffing powder, you doing E, you doing Molly, you drinking alcohol, which creates a copper zinc deficiency in the children forever. Or I should say imbalance forever. They will have to and lean on making sure they keep that balance right. 20% of the toxins. So if you do E-pills, 1 out of 4 of them E-pills is going to your, 1 out of 5 of them E-pills going to your baby. If you smoke blunts, 1 out of 5 of them blunts is going to your baby. You drink alcohol, 1 out of 5 of them shots going to your baby. So it's not just vaccines. We want to blame other people. I mean, yeah, the vaccines play a key role, but let's not overlook what we're doing. When we look at autism, 1 in 88 children with autism, and 1 out of 54 if we get rid of the females. What's going on? Guess what's a big determining factor? Prenatal inflammation, preeclampsia, prenatal inflammation. We talked about this in terms of ectopic pregnancies, chemical pregnancies, which are confusing names because those are not actual pregnancies. Those lead to miscarriages. Um, and chemical pregnancy is miscarriage before you even knew you were pregnant. That's like most miscarriages or chemical pregnancies, where women think they're having bad periods, late periods, heavy periods, it's off all the time. You might be pregnant off and on and not knowing. Um, but all of these play a key role. What else plays a key role? Well, anytime you're dealing with electricity in the brain, anytime you're dealing with the brain, you're going to be dealing with electricity, give or take. This is why the number one and number two prescribed drugs for brain issues is a vasodilator or vasoconstrictor. Vasodilators open up blood flow, so hopefully it stimulates more electricity into the brain. Vasoconstrictors shut down and constrict blood flow to the brain, hopefully taking some of the electrical uh, pressure off of the brain if it's too much. But those are not always the issues. Sometimes it's about um, upgrading the speaker wires. It's not about turning down the volume, because there's a specific voltage that we're supposed to be at for our brain to function. And what handles electricity in the body? What's the interface between the body's waters and light? Pigment, your melanin. This is why your B vitamins, your 8B vitamins from plants is so important. From plants is so important. They stimulate melanin production. Oh, why do we need melanin for the brain? Duh, because neuromelanin is what. Stop. You guys, don't ask me why you need melanin in the brain. You need to know why you need melanin in the brain. Just, I don't know, run really fast into a closed door or something. Asthma. Asthma, childhood asthma. Let me tell you guys something, a secret about childhood asthma, because a lot of people are being told, oh, you're going to grow out of that. Let me tell you what that means. That means that because asthma is an autoimmune disease. Asthma is an autoimmune disease. The same as hives, eczema, low level, but autoimmune disease nonetheless. And so when you stop getting the asthma, it's just like when you stop feeling thirsty for water. Your body hasn't changed because you haven't changed it. So that means that the autoimmune issue is going to express itself differently. So now you're changing the symptomology of your autoimmune disease, but you're not getting rid of it. You can't grow out of an autoimmune illness. Okay? Now, two key things to note. Pigments, vital amines, vitamin A and vitamin D. Crucial. Crucial. Most children with asthma, it's been clinically proven over and over again, are deficient vitamin A and vitamin D. Secondhand smoke. During when mom is carrying the baby or after. Smoking parents, even though they stop once we get pregnant, smoking parents have an issue. So you want to stop before. Like, a lot of this stuff is going back to us really planning children again. Because most children we don't plan, which is how we get caught with our pants down. Pun intended. Poor digestion. Where does poor digestion come from? Poor digestion comes from lack of sunlight. Nobody else is going to tell you that but Minister EnQi. So make sure y'all cats that like to regurgitate my lessons, make sure I get a reference. Oh yeah, because Minister EnQi, I want to hear reference points. Because you can't say somebody else, you got this from somewhere else, because it doesn't exist. You have poor protein digestion because all proteins, must be hydrated. So if you're not hydrated, if your child's not hydrated, they can't have good digestion. Don't think it's a probiotic issue. It's not. Digestion, you have to be hydrated. Second step is all proteins require sunlight to function properly. All of your blood passes through your eyeballs every every 2 hours. So in order to have complete digestion, you must get some sunlight into your eyeballs within 2 hours after you eat a meal. Childhood seizures. And we just trying to just hit these things as quick and easy as possible. You want to get deeper into these subjects. Obviously, you want to join the class. Click the link below the video in the description. And you can get into the class. Class starts April 1st, and we're going in. Childhood seizures. Where do seizures come from? Nitrogen on the brain. Glutamate on the brain. So we want to get rid of MSG. Vegan and vegetarian parents, do not replace MSG products with coconut aminos, Bragg's aminos, no type of aminos, man. Calm down with the extra aminos. You don't want to add any glutamate, extra glutamate to your food, period. No matter where it's from, because it's still glutamate. And your body, every cell in your body has sodium, potassium, chloride. So you have to know that you're gonna have some biochemistry if anything reacts with one of those three things, because it's gonna run into them. So MSG, monosodium glutamate, monosodium glutamate, monosodium glutamate. Mono is one. Sodium, I just told you, is in every cell in the body. Glutamate is the problem. So now if you add single aminos of glutamate to your food, that glutamate is going to combine with sodium and you're going to produce MSG internally. Knock off the additional shit. Look at these numbers. 3 out of 100 children have seizures, but only 1 out of 100 has epilepsy. So why are the other 2 children having seizures? The parents' party life, recreational drugs, high fevers can push them into it. Metabolic issues. Let's go back to parenting again. The parents' party life, the epigenetics, the sins of the father will be revisited on the children 7 generations deep. That goes for the mother as well. That comes out of the Bible, but now it's known as epigenetics. Learning difficulty. Learning difficulty is weird because that should not be a cause of childhood seizures. That's listed a lot of places as a cause for seizures. Learning difficulty. No. Learning difficulty is a symptom just like the seizure is. That there is a bad biochemistry or there's a biochemical imbalance going on in the child's brain. It's not learning difficulty is the issue. No, learning difficulty is a symptom. So we got to get this. Sleep. Sleep cannot be overdone. period. From the ages of 0 to 5 is when it's the most crucial. Um, and then again from 13 to 18. 0 to 5, from 13 to 18, the children should be getting 10 hours of sleep. 10 hours of sleep. 10 hours of sleep. 10 hours of sleep. All detox happens in sleep. Growth happens in sleep. They have to get the sunlight. They have to go out barefoot in the grass. Stress. Children should not be stressed parents. There's a fine line between making the children help you with things and then overburdening the children. All right? Keep your adult activities to yourself. Try to keep relationship issues to yourself. Like, keep the children out of that. They are poor carriers of stress. They get adrenal fatigue at much higher rates than adults do. And they get a poor cognition in their brain of fear and a couple other key social presets in their mind that lead them to have a much, much, much higher incidence of going to jail, etc., etc. So trust me, I get it. Colonialism, white folks, racism, money, economics. Yes, 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 yes. I know all those things. However, we got to look at what we're doing too. My name is Minister EnQi. Peace. Okay. Peace to the family. We're finally satisfied with the site. It's amazing. You're gonna love it. All right. I just it's so much stuff. It's so much stuff. Right here is where the library is gonna go also, as well as other courses as we develop more courses for you guys. The Melanin Magi will also be right here. Excuse me. We got quite a lot in store for you guys. All right. So first things first. The main two questions I got so far are the people who are already in the God Complex course, do they have to pay again? Absolutely not. You'll get an email with your pass and everything set up for you. You don't have to worry about that. The second question is, do I have to do all of my work again? The answer is no. Okay, the answer is no. All you got to do is click complete, and the next lesson will open up for you. However, remember, this is about learning. This is not about flying through the course just so you could say you did it. So being me, I'm meticulous that way. I personally would go back through and do it all again. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you one of the people who got in the course early on and you completed the course early, I would come back in and do it again. That's just me. Just so I know I'm getting everything. You know what I'm saying? You pay for it, why not bleed it? You know, get every bit you can get out of it, because it's going to increase your life. It's going to improve the life of the people around you. So, and it's a lifetime membership. You have this forever. You can always come back, refresh yourself, look something up. So let's dig in. And of course, I didn't go through because I want to be able to demo this stuff out, and it's scrumptious. It's delicious.
Welcome to the God Complex course. My name is Minister EnQi. I'll be your host. No, seriously. take a look around. Um, it's a self-paced course. With that being said, I don't want you to take it too slow. I do want you to be upbeat. Um,
Now, of course, your computer's not going to be running as slow as mine and looking all janky and crazy. So bear with me. You know, I got some computer issues. All right, but what you're gonna have at your fingertips is just nothing short of amazing. So when you log in, you'll see the course. Well, you see a bunch of courses there. For now, you'll just see the God Complex course. You'll click on the God Complex course. I'll be there to greet you in virtual format. Of course, you can always go to the 40-Day Fruit Fast website and get your EnQi Vision hats, T-shirts, your baby clothes, everything. We got full line of apparel from onesies all the way up to your snapbacks. Here's your lessons. All right, so you can scroll down, see all of the lessons here. Um, it's just so hype. I'm just so in love with this. It's so amazing. Please forgive my post popping up from the 40-Day Fruit Fast group. If you're not in the 40-Day Fruit Fast group on Facebook, you're missing out. Join the group. So that's probably going to keep popping up there every second because people are always posting recipes and helping somebody new to the group. You know, there's always somebody new to the group with a question about something, and you got almost 10,000 people ready to help you out. So it's a really nice place for people trying to transition, and improve their diet. For people that have already been vegan and vegetarian for a long time period. So here you have your home button on your left hand side. You see over here, you got your home, you got your support, technical support, you have your products, and then this part right here, probably one of my favorites. This has actually killed the need for the God Complex Facebook group. All right, so we had quite a few issues with the God Complex Facebook group. We won't have any of those issues anymore because now everybody will be here. There will be no reason to go to the God Complex or to discuss classwork in the 40-Day Fruit Fast. Everything can be done here um, in the group, right? In the group. So I'll come back to that later. But let's click on lesson number 1. I might ramble a little bit because I'm so excited. All right, so you scroll down, you got your lessons, um, you got your lessons, your homework, your other modules. Um, right here to your right is where you're gonna have your module downloads for this lesson. You can also click right here. That way you can keep your notes right here. For your study, they'll stay there. They won't delete. They'll stay there. Like I said, this is a lifetime membership. You can always come back. And remember, um, the course is a lot more complex than your favorite book because it's composed of many different pieces. And my point in saying that is, as your mind changes, as your mind grows, you'll be able to come back to the course and see the course differently. Like, oh my God, wow, I didn't even know that was. And then it'll get to the point where you start to enlighten me, and then you'll be able to teach me some stuff, and we'll be going back and forth, and people in the group will be learning. It's amazing. So we don't want like debate kind of stuff, but trust me, new insights are always welcome. Please share. If you're not sure, please ask. I had a brother, Freddie. He said, um, you talked about iodine and then you talked about copper. Give me the breakdown. which one is the most electric for the body. I mean, just trust me, just share. Trust me, we're not going to be offended. But again, this is not a place to debate. This is a place to study. So please share all your insights, but be mindful and don't jump on anybody that says something that may be incorrect and attack them. Just uplift them, keep it positive. But it's dope. So you got your resources to download here. You got your notes here, and then you got group discussions here. So people will be having conversations, asking questions on lessons, putting stuff there. Um, it's going to be amazing. People can post their homework, however you want to do that, all right here in the group. Scroll down to the bottom. Now, here's the one thing. If you're on your cell phone, this bar right here will probably be at the bottom of your lesson, so don't panic. All right? Also, down here, you can leave comments. Hey, Minister, your toes are funky. Don't say, hey, Minister, your toes are funky, but you can leave you can leave what you want to put down there. All right? This lesson has been marked completed by you. It is unlocked for future reference. Meaning, after you complete a lesson, you can always come back. You can always come back to this lesson, like I said, lifetime. All right? But if you notice on the left side here, all of your lessons are locked until you complete each one. All right? So you have to complete your lesson before you can go on to the next one. Right? So after lesson 1, we're going to move to the God Complex Codex. All right. This book was $149. I never did any classes on it, never did any promos on it. I wrote this book specifically for the God Complex. Really, to be honest, I could have used this book, and this book could have been the God Complex. It's really that good of a book in terms of people being able to change their life and change the life of people around them. So very powerful. What gave me the idea to write this book was people asking me what to do after they completed the 40-day fruit fast, right? So you go through, obviously, bam, mark complete. You go to the next lesson. It's amazing. So I'm not gonna go through the whole course, right? Because if I go through the whole course, then right. So anyway, um, I don't know. I'm just kind of excited, right? Um, but again, let me just show you this because I don't want people to overlook this. You can not only leave whatever comments you want down here, like Minister's toes are funky. You can also leave pictures. Leave your testimonies. People who've already been through the course. Oh my God, I thought it was amazing. I came up with this herbal formula. I came up with this recipe. We tried this in my house. It was amazing. Put the pictures up. You know what I'm saying? Post post away. Go in. You know what I mean? Feel free to leave all of your positive feedback um, down here. It's just I don't know. I'm excited about this. People being able to really utilize this now. Here's your news feed. Um, so I'm getting out of here. I just wanted to give you guys an intro, so you can come to the yeah. Oh my goodness, it's amazing, right? So me and Sharita obviously are the first two to post. Um, for you guys that are not involved yet, go to the 40dayfruitfast.com. Go right here. You don't have to go into the shop. You can come right here to the main menu. Sale God Complex course. And you're here. Okay? And you're here. So thank you guys. Thank you guys that have been supporting, and everybody else that wants to get involved. As you can see, we still have the course on sale, $199. It is gonna go up, um, but I just wanted to keep, I just wanted to keep it very affordable for the family. But the course is like $499. So